twin shells with Skopos. We're going to start with Skopos, and we're going to rank all the operators, starting with the defenders, and then we're going to do the attackers. So, Skopos, A tier. The shield is a really good deployable shield with a bulletproof cam and bulletproof glass over the top. And if you want to use Skopos like this, you can be a pretty good roamer and do a late flank if you want to use it like that. A lot of good options, but you kind of have to really like set up for it. It's not like on the fly things. Skopos could potentially be an S tier, but like in my mind and how I've played Skopos for a little bit on the test server, it feels more like an A tier, and the gun's really nice. Feels more like an A tier. Could convince me that Skopos is an S tier, but right now I'm going with A tier. Alibi, B tier. Good gun, speed, utility's okay. Bailiff set up the site. Rooney, A tier. Grenade denial, slow down, barbed wire, and a DMR on defense. Always nice. Azami, still an S tier. Zami is always going to be an S tier until they nerf how many things she has. SenVale, you can just shoot them down, but it's still really good, bro. You shooting a mag at a concrete wall that someone can be behind and kill you. It's still an S. Bandit, very situational op, can be considered an S tier op in the trick situations, but more times than not is going to be a B tier operator. Castle, again, Castle can be an S tier operator in the right situations, but for the round to round, he's just very situational, and when he's really good, I would say that he's a little bit less situational than Bandit, but still a little situational. Can be really good, but sometimes can troll. So I'm gonna go with A tier because Castle can be really fucking good. Caveira, D tier. Cav's really fun to play, probably one of the most fun operators in the game to play, but is not a very competitive operator. Clash, Clash is just mid. The win deltas on Clash is so damn low for a reason. I mean, she can be used if you're in a competitive environment and you have a play around it, but let's be honest, most of you guys watching this aren't going to have that. D tier. Doc, this is my own personal preference. You guys might disagree with this one, but I'm placing Doc at S tier in the current meta. Barbed wire, bailiff set up the site, MP5 with an ACOG, and heals, which go pretty far. Doc is a cornerstone for every defending lineup, personally, and is extremely strong. If you put one of your top frags on Doc, you're getting kills, getting heals off every round. Honestly, it's pretty nice to have. You could probably debate that Doc could be an A tier, but I just feel like in my bones that Doc is an S tier operator. Echo, currently a B tier. Echo can be really good. Good gun, speed, impacts. Just like a Swiss Army knife of stuff, but doesn't do anything the best. I feel like Echo sits safely at B tier. Could be considered an A tier, but Ella, C tier. Decent gun. Utility's not bad. Speed, but not much util. And I don't know. I feel like Ella can't be over C tier. It just feels weird to place her anything higher. I can't place her anywhere near these ops. Alibi maybe, but I feel like Alibi's ability with the bailiff combo makes her a B tier instead of C. Fenrir is another easy. I'm gonna say S tier. The denial on Fenrir makes everybody so damn scared. When there's a Fenrir on the board, everyone's afraid of walking through doors into Fenrir traps while defenders are shooting at you. It slows down the enemy, and you have Barb and a bailiff and an MP7. Everything about Fenrir is going to be nice. Frost, I'm placing Frost at A tier. Again, another thing that just slows the enemy down. It's TDM meta. Everyone's playing fast, hot, and loose. Operators that make you second guess what you can do slows down the attack push and makes the round a little bit more winnable. And if they hit a Frost man, then they're down. And Frost has a good gun, shotgun instead of sight, deployable shield when you need it. Always nice. Goyo, in my bones, I want to place Goyo at S tier. Do I do it? You know what? I'm doing it. I don't care. Goyo's S tier. Why? He can stop early rushes very damn easily, and if you place your Goyos effectively, you can, stop plants. But that's not all Goyo can do. Goyo also has a vector with an ACOG with impact, so he's probably how Warden used to be with the ACOG, Goyo is a crazy fragger. So outdone a little bit by Goyo is better in terms of killing potential as a fragger, but Doc is better in terms of like staying alive and also being a fragger. So I think those are the two guns. Yeg, I'm placing Yeg at B tier. I'll place Yeg at. I'm placing Yeg at B tier. Same with the Wamai. Both of these guys, I mean, Wamai got kind of a kiss of death. His guns are a little wacky duty. Yeg's gun is probably better than Wamai's, but Wamai's ability is better. It's just not used super often. Can be effective in the right situations. I'm not B tier doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. It's just there's very specific ways that they have to be used, and they have a lot of damn counters. Like attackers, Brava, Twitch, Flores. There's so many counters to these things. Well, mine's a little bit harder to counter as util, but Yeggs is very easy to counter. So, Cade, I think Cade is a very easy S tier operator. Best wall denial in the game, or hatch denial. Pretty simple, straightforward. Capkin, I feel like Capkin in a ranked situation, I mean, you guys are going to hate this, but I feel like Capkin is an S tier operator. That's a little weird, but this is a ranked tier list for champion elo. Capkin is going to get you kills with traps. People aren't going to look. You place your Capkins near your team. They'll either shoot your team or shoot the traps, and half the time, it'll get you a kill. And Capkin has good guns and a nitro. Capkin has a lot of utility to use to kill the enemy. So I could place Capkin lower, but I feel like I hate seeing a Capkin, which means that he has to be an S tier. We got Legion. I think Legion is an A tier. I love Legion. I think that he's a really good operator for the roam. I could probably try to make an argument that he could be S tier, but I feel like people are going to be like, no, SenVale. But you know what? I'm doing it. I don't care. It's my tier list. Legion's S tier. Really good gun, shotgun, and traps to basically hold down an entire section of the map on your own. Bravo will take Capkin's traps every time. Well, you got to find them. And Bravo's can get shot, so still. So for that reason, I mean, if you want to talk about the Capkin traps getting, hacked and destroyed or whatever, I'll place Capkin at A tier because they're still really good. You still have to deal with them. Bravo or Twitch physically has to waste their time and hunt these things down instead of pushing your team. So Maestro, I feel like because Brava does exist, anytime I see a Maestro, I think we need a Brava because it's just so easy to hack these things, and then you can just annoy the hell out of the defenders when you hack them. So I'm going to say Capkin's a little bit harder to find with Bravas, but Maestros are usually very easy to spot. Malusi, I think Malusi is at least... I'm going to say Malusi is an S tier operator. But they could get hacked too, SenVale. Yeah, but she has 4 of them, a decent gun, and impacts, and a shotgun to set up the site. I mean, she basically says no one can sprint. But they could just hack her Malusi's. Yeah, but then you still have to wait until they're hacked. You literally cannot rush if they have a Malusi. It's almost impossible. Mira, I mean, Mira's Mira. I mean, Mira is S tier. If you pair with like a Wamai or a Jaeger, then she's like S plus, which is just super damn annoying. But she has to stay S tier. I mean, she's one of the best operators in the game. Mozzie, in my eyes, is like a C tier operator. I mean, the utility is kind of lackluster. There's not much else to say other than that. Mute. I'm going to place the Mute at the S tier in the smoke. I know this is going to be a little weird. Stay with me. I'm placing the smoke at the A tier for the current meta. Smoke is really good, but I think in the current meta, I think Mute has more mileage, personally. Out of the Mute and Smoke players I've seen Mute do better than most Smoke players. I just, off of what I've seen. Mute, anti-intel, all those drones and cameras and all those things flying around. Not with Mute. Smoke can lock down an area, but Smoke is really good when you're like trying to hold a very specific area. Mute's better for holding a lot more stuff. Oryx, C tier can be good, but I can't place Oryx next to these ops, but definitely can't be higher than C tier, personally. B tier, situationally, can be really strong, but, you know, definitely not every round. Rook, and P5 in armor. I mean, if you feel like you're getting slammed, a lot of people will go Rook. I mean, so you're doing something, I guess. Sentry, I'm placing in C tier. I feel like there's just so many better options with more util than Sentry, but you know, you got a little flexible kit. You can, you know, it's not useless, but personally, I'd rather run something with a little bit more util. Solus in the current meta for ranked, I gotta play Solus in C tier. I've played the new update. It's not great. Solus feels the way that she's always felt, really. She just feels a little mid. Um, she needs impacts, but impacts make her too strong, so it's a tough call. Tachanka, easy D tier. I mean, that's you're just trolling. If you're gonna play Tachanka, you need to go smoke, bro. Like, or Goryo even. Thorn. Thorn is a C tier op. I feel comfortable with Thorn being around these ops, but not these ops. But I have Alibi there, but Alibi has a little bit more with the bailiff and everything. I just can't place those ops higher. Thunderbird, I just think is just goddamn troll. I don't understand Thunderbird. When Doc exists and Doc is just a way better operator, I just think why go Thunderbird? I guess I'm not really sure what else to say about that. Valkyrie, another S. There's a lot of ops that have cameras. I'm going to place Valk A tier. I believe that she's S tier, but I feel like a lot of people don't use their cameras fully. And things that just work without you being there are usually better than things that require player input, which, like, you know. I think Valcams are OP as hell, but I think this is skillless, basically. And these are, like, you kind of need to know what you're doing. Vigil, this is going to be a hot take, but this operator is so damn annoying in the right hands. I'm placing the Vigil at A tier. Why do I place Vigil at A tier? That Boss G is super damn annoying. That is literally it. The Boss G. Boss G, A tier. Honestly, Vigil could probably consider almost an S tier operator, but I can't really say Vigil is an S tier operator. I can't say that. But you can go off. Vigil on the roam is super damn annoying to deal with. Warden, B tier, can be good, can be effective, but most of the time is going to be eh. And Two-Brow, same situation. It really depends on what, you know, how you're using that. TMR is nice with Nitros, but it really depends on how you're using that ability with stopping denial on the wall. This is the Defender tier list. Thoughts, concerns? Who would you move? Who would you change? Let me know down below in the comments, or if you're on stream right now, let me know. But going from this, now we're doing the attackers. There's been a couple changes to some of these operators. We're going to be talking about the changes as we go. Ace. Do I need to say anything? Ace is the best hard breacher in the game, in ranked specifically, because you can frag. Amaru can be really strong, but is very situational. It's not going to be strong every single round. Ash is just the best entry in the game. I mean, you have speed, you have a gun. I mean, Ash did get a little nerfed with her R4C, but I don't really think it affects Ash too much. But they did change her recoil a little bit. So, I mean, I don't really know how bad the recoil is. So I could just say, okay, they increased her recoil by a bit, so she could be slightly down. But even still, I feel like Ash is still going to be a really good entry. So, Blackbeard, I think Blackbeard has very situational uses, but is mostly troll. I can't place Blackbeard next to Amaru in good conscience, so I have to place Blackbeard there. Blitz can be extremely effective. Montaigne is... Montaigne even on this? Am I blinking? Let me know what other operators I'm missing, bro, but I don't see the Montaigne on here at all. Maybe I'm blinking or something, but Montaigne is A tier. Blitz is B tier. Montaigne has a little bit of a get out of jail free card situation where he can just put his shield up and you still have that pressure with the shield. Blitz is like kind of an all or nothing. There's no real escape. You're always getting peppered and everything. So Blitz has a little bit more offensive power. Montaigne has a lot more defensive power, and with shields, I feel like defensive power wins out. But Blitz could be really good on rushes potentially. Brava, for ranked, I'm replacing Brava at the B tier, right in the middle, because she can either be good, better than that, or worse than that. If they have things that she can counter, she goes up higher. If she has nothing they can counter, she goes down farther. So, a lot of drones though, and claymores. So, Buck, I feel like Buck does everything Ash does except better. Personally, I think that Buck is a better operator than Ash overall. It's just that people like shooting with Ash, and because her gun has been nerfed a little bit with recoil and mag capacity, I feel like Buck might kind of edge out a little bit here now. That's my personal opinion, but you know, to each their own. Capital. Capital is a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, master of none. I feel like he can be good in the right hands, but he just doesn't do anything the best. He's just good at everything. So if you're like not sure what they're doing, not sure what they're bringing, and you just want something for everything, Capital is usually your man. You have smokes, you have fires, you have a Gone 6, hard breach charge. I mean, I'll do Capital beats here because I feel like he is really a Swiss Army knife. Demos, I feel like is an A tier. It's really annoying having to deal with a Demos. If you have one guy roaming on defense, I mean, Demos basically makes them stop. Or you can potentially get floor bangs. Dokubi, S tier, don't even think about it. But her ability was nerfed. Now you get a call every 45 seconds. Does that affect Dokubi too much? Personally, not really, because you still get a call. You still get both calls, and they work the same way. But let's talk about future Doke nerfs. But so far, it's just you get a call every 45 seconds of the round, so you just can't rush the calls. But even so, I still think a global ability is really damn strong. Finka, again, I think that Finka is one of the better attackers, being able to heal everybody. And with grenades, she's a really good entry. And I think that in terms of just overall pushing power, in terms of like compare her to Ash, I feel like Finka does edge out a little bit, especially with the Ash nerf. So I'm placing Finka at S tier. You guys might disagree with this, but you know, I just think the heals are a little overpowered personally. Heals are nice. Flores, A tier. You're just on your cameras for a while, but and you're completely countered by mute, but is really damn good at destroying all the utility. In fact, I would argue that Flores could be an S tier. Do I do it though? I can't place that many S tier ops. I feel like that's safe. Finka is really good, but I mean Flores is like you don't necessarily need heals. Flores sometimes you physically need to clear out everything. Fuse is kind of troll, can be okay situationally, but most of the time it's going to be kind of mid. Glaz with the Amaru, you can do aggressive plays with it, but it's very situational and does not happen that often. Gridlock, I feel like Gridlock is the A tier in terms of flank watch. Always really good. I feel like Nomad is going to be S tier in terms of flank watch with her flashbangs. She functions like old Ayana with the flashbangs and everything. But so you're really good on the entry and your flank watch. I mean, Nomad just does everything super damn well. You just can't open anything on your own. Gridlock can open up a couple things and it has grenades, and the flank watch is still pretty good, but definitely not a bit as good as air jabs. Grim, this might be the hottest take of this tier list so far. I think Grim's an S tier operator. I used to be the biggest Grim hater, but the B-boy is powerful as hell. Pushes people out of positions. You have 5 of them. You have a bailiff for like making quick, like you know, lines of sight on the floor or whatever. You have a good gun, and you are 3 speed, so you have the speed to push off these bees too. I just feel like Grim lets you do a lot of things really well. I feel like he's just the best pusher in the game, other than Ying. But Ying is like very obvious it's happening. I'm placing Ying at the A tier. Ying is very obvious. It's not hidden. So if you're doing a rush, Ying's better. But Grim is just better for like slowly pushing people out. Hibana, Gotta be S. Really good hard breacher and with more entry focus than Ace and better at hatches. Ayana, new Ayana, honestly, I can't place new Ayana over C tier. In fact, I think that might be generous. New Ayana is just mid. If you're gonna play this Ayana, why not just play Nomad? I just you have to convince me. Why play Ayana over Nomad? Because you need EMPs, bro. Thatcher's like almost never banned, and Thatcher's an S tier operator, and there's EMP impacts on a lot of different operators. So you don't need Ayana for EMP impacts. IQ. I can't place IQ next to this, but IQ can get a decent intel, but this is quotation marks, asterisks. If you are in a 5-stack communicating with what you're seeing and using IQ to find vigil, destroy utility, etc. If you're not doing that, then IQ is like C tier. Jackal, one of the best roam clears in the game. I mean, the only one that really counters him is Caveira, which Caveira is usually not picked. A lot of times people will pick Cav. Sometimes we'll pick Cav because Jackal's been running amok. But other than that, I mean, Jackal is going to be king. Callie, more of another situational pick. Can be really strong, can be really weak, but would not pick that every round, but can be a good pocket play. Lion, gotta be an easy A tier. I mean, grenades, good gun, ability to just like stop everyone in place, always nice. Maverick in the current meta, personally, I feel like Maverick is going to be A tier. Very difficult to use though, even though he's A tier. Very hard to use. Knock with the buff is an easy S plus. Just kidding. Knock with her buff, she can like stand under cameras forever, which is kind of nice. It'll throw people off guard, making them not rely on their cameras anymore. But she's still not like that high up. I would say that she's probably like a B tier. You can kind of sneak around, hide under cameras, and like when people think everything's clear, you can just snipe one. Can be good on the lurk, but definitely not higher than that. Osa, situational, can be good. Shields are always nice, and you have a decent gun with grenades. Always solid. Could place her higher, but I just feel like there's a lot of counters blowing up her shield. Ram, all you console players are saying Esu. I'll place Ram at A tier for their vertical annoyance, but I would not consider Ram an S tier operator because there's a lot of operators that can open up vert. And when Rams are going off, the biggest thing is there is a lot of flank potential. Those ruin your audio. Sens C tier can be good. Good pocket play. I played Sens today and got a 3K because they banned my Grim. So, it was a good pocket play that can work at sometimes, but like a lot of times it's like, why not just pick Ying? So, Sledge. I think Sledge deserves to be up high, but I don't know if I can play Sledge with the A tier. I like his gun a lot. His hammer's nice, but like Ash and Buck, and Sledge, you're really exposed when you do this. But you do have grenades, but grenades aren't super OP anymore. So like, I don't know. I think Sledge sits okay at B tier. You could say that he's an A tier operator, but definitely not S. Striker, I mean, can't go higher than that. I don't think that you're throwing a striker, but like definitely you do have that solo like EMP breach charge. That's the only time I see striker being really valuable. Anything else is just kind of troll, like grenades, flashbangs. I mean, just bring other utility, bro. But like, if you're going to solo open something, striker can be good. But that's like really the only situation I could see that. In fact, because of that specific situation with the EMPs and your own breaching charge, I'll play striker at B tier. Thermite, I'm going to place at A tier because it's just a little bit more sketchy. You're a little bit more in danger with doing this, and you have to touch the wall. But I do like Thermite breaches on outside walls a lot more than Ace or Hibana's. So Twitch, B tier, again, good at countering some utility, but again, you are hunting things around and you're on your camera while your teammates are fighting. You're on your camera journeying around. You just do have to be careful you're not on your drone too long. Speaking of being in drones too long, Zero. Zero goes right in the middle. Here's why. Zero can be a really good operator in the right hands. He can be really good. But if no one's on your cameras, then he starts to drift further down. It is really all about how much effort your teammates are putting in. You definitely do not want to pick Zero in the solo queue land. I mean, yeah, you're going to have a lot of intel, you're going to have a lot of drones, but get used to being in a 1v3 situation every other round because it's going to happen over and over and over. And Zofia, she's very big, very clunky, but has a lot of util with the concuss and the impact. So always a good op, but she's just kind of slow. It's not really an entry anymore. All right, this is the attacker tier list. Let me know who you would move up or down. Again, guys, if you're gonna say like Jackal should be A tier, you mostly agree with what I'm saying. But if you're like trying to say like Sens should be S tier, then let me know down below in the comments if you guys think this is mostly okay. And again, this is my perspective, my tier list as someone who's played FPL with and against pros, made thousands of dollars doing that. Played in T2 multiple times and has hit champion like almost 20 times in a row, like consecutive seasons. So, I don't know. This is how I view the operators personally. You might view them differently. Let me know down below in the comments. And that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and leave a like down below for more. And peace out. Until next time. Hey.